Hey everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome to another Minecraft tutorial. Right, yesterday I posted the Mark II version of my AFK fish farm. It was affectionately called the AFK Fishing Scorpion or something like that, which I thought was fantastic because it did actually look a little bit like a scorpion. But I've been thinking about it overnight, and although it was really easy to build, it took very few resources. And you could build it early game. You still couldn't build it that early game because you needed a note block, and to make a note block, as I'm sure you know, you need a piece of redstone, and redstone isn't just left lying around willy-nilly, is it? So you can't build this, within the first day or so. So I think I've come up with an idea that will allow you to build this within the first day, providing, of course, that you can find a bit of string. So if you can find a village that's got some cats in it, or you can find a few spiders, then you should be able to get a bit of string in order to make your rod. But you should be able to build this fish farm within a day. So let me show you how it works. It's very, very similar within the last one. It's very similar to the last one in that you aim right at the back of the wooden pressure plate there and then cast. But unlike the last one, where you continually try to tune the note block, with this you don't. You cast, and my finger is now pressed on the right mouse button. You don't do anything. You're not trying to cast, you're not trying to pull the rod in, therefore you don't accidentally pull the bobber back in again while you're waiting for the system to work, to prime. It's brilliant, and it works because you're actually aiming now at an armor stand, which I think is brilliant. Now again, I've got a pants rod, so it's going to take about 45 seconds for me to catch anything. But as soon as I've got a decent rod, Mending Lure 3, look at the C3 rod, then this is going to work much, much quicker. So we'll catch something else now. Let's just catch one more thing. And you see, I only pull the bob in when I catch a fish. And then immediately I cast again, and then I don't do anything. It's brilliant. So let's have a look what we caught. 2 fish. Perfect. And as with the other one, aim at the very back of the pressure plate. You have to aim it's very specific, and then cast. And if you get it slightly wrong, that happens. Okay, so you have to be aiming right at the top. So when the pressure plate goes down, you're actually aiming at the armor stand. There you go. And then you can use the F3T trick. Now, before we use the F3T trick, do F3P and make sure that your pause on lost focus is disabled, okay? So you want to F3P. My pause on lost focus is now disabled, which means I can now leave the game and the game won't pause. If that's set to enabled, when you do the F3T trick, you'll pause the game. So now I can do F3 and T. Take my hands off the mouse completely. Now, as soon as it's loaded my resource pack again, it's now going to continue working, and I don't have my hands on the mouse or on the keyboard. It's brilliant. So we'll just let it catch a fish with a bit of luck. Catch a fish. Don't fail me now. Brilliant. So it worked, and then I recast, and it's off and running again. So I can now go AFK. I can go off and do whatever I like away from my keyboard. But if I don't want to go away from my keyboard, if I still wanted to continue working, doing my homework or other work, but I wanted to continue fishing, I can now do Control, Alt and Tab to bring up the tab screen on my computer. You can see it there. And I can now pick another screen for me to go into. So if I pick my YouTube page, I can now go over to my YouTube page and I can continue working. So there's my screen, and I'm still playing the game, which is fantastic, isn't it? It's brilliant. You can fool everybody doing this. So I've got a couple of monitors. So if I move my screen, my YouTube page over to one of my other monitors, I can now continue to work on that screen. If you've only got one monitor, no problem. Pull it over, put it there, and you're going to be able to continue doing your work while you're fishing in the background. It's the old Control F11 trick that Mojang fixed not that long ago. However, we're able to do it now using the Control, Alt and Tab function, which is brilliant. So if I get myself back into the game, and pull the old bobber in. Have a look at what we've caught. We've already caught 6 fish, tropical fish, puffer fish, a bone, and a raw salmon, and that's within a couple of minutes using a pants rod. You just wait until you've got yourself a Lure 3 Luck of the Sea 3 mending rod and it's raining on the water block, then you're going to get some fantastic loot. Anyway, I've gone on a little bit. Look at the size of this thing. It's tiny, and also, unlike some of the others that are this small, you can't hear the running water, which used to really wind me up. So anyway, to build this thing, you're going to need, what's on my hotbar, you're going to need 7 trapdoors, 7 wooden trapdoors. Again, you don't need the trapdoors around the stair here. You can get rid of those if you wanted to, but I think it looks a little bit better if you've got them there. So you're going to need 7 trapdoors. You're going to need 1 stair just there.'re going to need a wooden pressure plate. It has to be a wooden pressure plate, can't be a stone one. You're going to need a fence post, which goes under there. You're going to need an armor stand, there you go, which goes down there. You're going to need a couple of buckets of water, okay, or an infinite water source. If you're building this near a lake, then you just need one water source. But you are going to need to put water on the fence post, and you are going to have to put water there as well, and that will stop it from running. If you don't put water here, then you'll hear flowing water all the time. That'll really drive you bananas. You're going to need a chest or a couple of chests if you want it to be a double chest, and you're going to need 1 hopper. So now we need to find somewhere to build this bad boy. We'll build it just over here. So what you need to do to start with is dig out a couple of blocks there to put in your chests like that. Then you're going to need to dig out a hole there to put in your hopper. So crouch, put your hopper facing into the side of the chest. If it's not facing into the chest, then it won't work, and then you just need to pop out a block behind it. That's where your armor stand is going to stand, but don't put the armor stand in there just yet. Now what you need to do is grab yourself a fence post, crouch and put your fence post on top of your hopper like that. Then go around the back, put down your stair just there, okay? Then take out your trapdoors, and you need to put a line of trapdoors down this side. They can be opened. And then you're going to need to put a line of trapdoors down this side. So if you crouch, you can put your trapdoors down like that. Okay? So now you've got that. How simple is this so far? Look at that. Tree's banging my way. Now you need to put a temporary block just here at the back. We're going to need to put water there. But if I try to put water against the trapdoor, it's going to waterlog the trapdoor. The water's going to flow off that way. If I try and put water against that fence post, it's going to waterlog the fence post, and it's not going to work. Okay, so we do need a temporary block. But before we put any water there, we need to put water on the fence post. Okay, so grab your first water bucket, stand at the front, look at your fence post, put some water down like that. Now it's going to flow backwards, and you're going to start hearing the water noise. You might not hear it straight away, but you will hear it. Okay, now we've done that, we need to stand at the front on the stairs, look at that back block there, and put down your, there it is, I hate that noise. Look at the back block and put down your armor stand. And it's going to flow to the back. Now it's important that you get it to flow to the back. If we were to put a water source block in there to start with, and then put the armor stand in, it would sink down directly in the middle, and then when you came to starting to fish, you wouldn't be able to see the top of it, and it won't work, and you'll continue to cast, and there'll be people in the comments saying it continually casts for us. I don't know what I'm doing. I've followed the tutorial exactly. Clearly, if you can't do that, then you haven't followed this little part of the tutorial. So this is very important. Make sure the water is flowing backwards, and you put your armor stand in, and the armor stand flows to the back of that block. Okay, it has to be at the back. Now grab yourself a second water bucket, and then look at the top of the temporary block there and put down your water. Don't look at the armor stand when you're putting the water down, because you'll probably just give the armor stand a bucket. So look at the top of the temporary block at the back. Right click on it. There you go. You've put down your water. Now grab your pressure plate, your wooden pressure plate. Put it there like that. Now just to finish it off, you need to just pop round the back, pop out this temporary block and replace it with a trapdoor. Now you don't have to replace it with trapdoors. If you want to build this into the side of a wall, then you can have solid blocks around here, you can have solid blocks around here, you can have solid blocks around here. You can't have a solid block above it, because if you do, you won't be able to see the top of the armor stand. So you won't be able to have you won't be able to have a solid block above there. If you wanted to have an upside down stair like you did above the note block in the Mark II version, then you can do. But apart from that, all of the sides here can be solid, making sure obviously that you can still access your chest. You might have to put some stairs over there. What I'm saying is you don't need trapdoors if you don't want to, but if you're going to build this outside like this, I mean, that is tiny. That is tiny. Now all you have to do is stand in the front, look at the very top at the back of the pressure plate and cast. And like I mentioned, you are now aiming at the armor stand. You are no longer casting all the time, so there's no chance of you pulling your rod back in again. And this is just going to work. So F3 and T to reload your resource pack, and then you can go AFK. Now, a lot of you are asking the questions, does this work on PS4? Does it work on Xbox? Does it work on Windows 10? Bedrock? I can't get it to work on any of those because I'm not able to auto cast on console or on Bedrock. Okay, so please don't ask in the comments. A lot of you do, and although I have it written in the comments, a lot of you still ask. It doesn't work on Bedrock. If you get it to work on Bedrock, well done. I've not been able to do it, okay, so I can't tell you it does. But it works perfectly well on Java 1.14.4. So there you go, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future tutorials. This is Frilioth, and I'm out of here.